Hi, my name is Igbe. I am from a new company called Theater Extraordinaire Ministry. This is a company that a couple of friends came together to form. I am one of those friends. We have a very strong interest in the entertainment industry, and we felt it's a place we can make an impact in. There's a saying, if you don't like what you see, why don't you change it? Hence why we are here. Well, today I'm actually not here to talk about the ministry. There will be hopefully upcoming times where we can discuss further into what this company is really about. But today I'm really here to talk about it's festivity time of the year. It's almost Thanksgiving, and very soon we'll be celebrating Christmas or celebrating the New Year, where it's festivity time, where we tend to spend a lot of money buying gifts for our loved ones, which is all well and good. Or a lot of times we invest some money into like preparing very special meals for ourselves and our loved ones, where we gather together to have a very nice meal together, share some lovely moments, and talk about how appreciative we are of what we have. And to me, it's a time for us to really remember those who are in need, and which is why we're here today. The major topic we'll be talking about today is hunger. Hunger is something that affects all of us, and we all know how that feels. There are times where we maybe have missed lunch or missed breakfast. We know how we feel, or missed dinner. There's this sort of a feeling that we have that I am about to die if I don't eat the next meal. Just imagine someone, at least you and I, we have the ability to get home or go to the nearest grocery store, go to the nearest restaurant and purchase something of our liking, and then we eat and we are back to our normal self. However, imagine someone who does not have that luxury, who does not have the money or the resources to be able to do that. Go to the nearest restaurant and dip their hands in your pocket or their wallet, whatever the case may be, and purchase whatever food that is of interest to them. So this is the time of the year that we spend a lot of money, and I wanted us to remember those who are in need, which is why I'm here this hour talking about hunger. Hunger is something that is very, it affects all of us. It affects us as a nation. It affects us as individuals, and not just only, even sometimes we forget that hunger is something that is all over the world. We find a lot of charity and organizations. We find a lot of people talking about hunger in developing nations like Africa, or like some parts of Caribbean, some parts of Latin America. But sometimes we forget where we actually live, which is the US. According to statistics, actually, there are a lot of hungry people within the United States itself. And that, unfortunately, is not something we talk about often. Just looking at the World Health Organization, based on the very recent statistics that they put together, in Asia and Pacific, there's about 526 million people that are hungry. That is a high number, just in Asia and the Pacific alone. And in Africa, we have about 227 million people who are hungry. And then within Latin America and the Caribbean, we have about 37 million people who are hungry. And then in developed countries, which is US inclusive, and this includes England, United Kingdom, we have about 15 million people who are hungry. To me, that is a very surprising number when I looked over those statistics. And that should get us thinking, even within where we feel very fortunate to be, a place where so many people that come from developing nations, sometimes some of them refer to this place as the land of milk and honey. So it's surprising that there are so many people within this land that we call a land of milk and honey, to know that there are people who are hungry here. So we wanted to, as a company, or we wanted to put this sort of video together to encourage us to be more cognizant of this idea, to be more aware that there are people, some of them far from us, some of them close to us, that are hungry. And in this time of the year where we are fortunate enough to have lots, to have surplus, when you serve your family member your meal at the end of the evening, or for lunch or for breakfast. And then we should be aware that as we are serving the surplus that we have, there are so many people, millions, even within the nation that we live in, which is the United States, that do not have enough to eat, that are hungry, but don't even know where the next meal is going to come from. And we cannot turn a blind eye to it. We cannot think that it does not exist, because it does exist among us. And as we become aware of these things, let's be more conscious of the waste that we do. Some of us, once we don't finish something, we are very quick to put it in the trash. It's not that that's necessarily a bad thing, because obviously you're not responsible for what's happening to someone else, but there's also this very powerful saying that we should always be our brother's keeper, our sister's keeper. So I want to encourage us during this time of the year to be more aware, and also to be more willing to give to others. Especially, there's so many pantries around us. We can give our time. We can not only give our time, we can also, if we can give a seed, plant a seed in the ministry. Why don't you make something, cook something, and take it to the food pantry? And there are so many places around us that are willing that needs our help. Not just only our time, they need our resources. And if it takes just maybe foregoing one item that you wanted so bad for this year, why don't you give that to the nearest food pantry, or give that to someone that you know is very much in need of it, that you have more than. And again, I want to be clear that it doesn't have to be an organization. It begins with us as individuals. It begins with us as a people. And something very nice that my church did recently is basically we felt there was a need within our community, and we just did a weekend of just packaging grocery for people around us. And to my surprise, there were really a lot of people that were in need of it. Surprisingly, from a neighborhood where you would think, we tend to be presumptuous about these things, that people are doing well. But once we stood outside and started passing out grocery, to my surprise, there were so many people that were interested, so many people that were very thankful and appreciative for that idea. So those are little things that we can do. Why don't we do that for this, especially Thanksgiving is coming. Why don't you package something little? Nothing too expensive. There's nothing is too little that we can do to sort of help to limit this cause, to sort of help to reduce this number. There's nothing too little. I just want to leave us with something to this hour as we begin to wrap up. As you try to dump the leftover foods the next time, just think that there is someone maybe even within a mile from you that have not even had one meal for the day. So that should allow us to be more conscious and be more willing to give. As you go off into the season, I hope that the Lord will bless and keep you and your family and your loved ones in peace and in joy. Happy holidays, and take care from TX.